creeping into Holy Island here in the fading lights. We wouldn't have wanted to leave it any later, would we?
No.
But the transit lines work well. We had sort of 3 metres under the boat. Now we're back up to 5, so we're in the main channel. We're either going to pick up a buoy or drop the hook. We don't know yet. We've got a good couple of knots of tide here that we're fighting against, heading towards the anchorage where there are 2 boats anchored, so we're not alone. We never tire of sunsets or dolphins saying hello. We crave new destinations and going with the flow. I know that we are lucky, and sometimes I wonder how. It's such a wonderful life out there, so go get your adventure now. Welcome to the Holy Island of Lindisfarne on the Northumberland coast. Connected to the land by a causeway and totally cut off at high tide, the island is full of history. Well, the very smelly crab pots there. But here we are, our first little look on Holy Island. I think we did it the hard way. We tried to go into there where it was a bit muddy, and we seemed to totally miss the slipway, which is down to my left. Couple of wallies. The monastery of Lindisfarne was founded around the year 634, and Lindisfarne became the base for Christian evangelism in the north of England. In the year 793, the Vikings carried out a brutal raid on Lindisfarne. During the attack, many of the monks were killed or captured and enslaved. Subsequently, it was written that never before has such a terror appeared in Britain as we have now suffered from a pagan race. Seals out here, fishing for their dinner, just waiting in there. We've got these kittiwakes blasting around us here as well.
They live in the walls of the castle and we are disturbing their nesting.
Well, look, I'm sorry to offend you, but you don't seem to have any problem buzzing past us all the time when we're offshore, so you can't have it both ways, alright? Pretty cool place here. Actually closed at the moment due to current proceedings, but it hasn't stopped us from walking around the outside. Can use my imagination for the inside. Beautiful spot to be. There is the East Cardinal that we found our way to last night in the fading lights. Fortunately, its flashes were easy to pick up, and from there you line up the transit beacons, which are also lit, in order to find your way to the starboard marker out there, which leads you safely past this big shingle bank here, and then all the way in to the nice safe anchorage. How's the fishing, boys? After wandering around the tranquil grounds of the castle, we headed into town, where the peace was so beautifully shattered by the constant birdsong throughout the entire village. After the Viking attack in the year 793, it was written that the heathens poured out the blood of saints around the altar and trampled on the bodies of saints in the temple of God like dung in the streets. As the birdsong lulled us into an almost trance-like state of calm and contentment, it was impossible to comprehend that such brutality had ever taken place here.
Mind your heels.
Well, I like this view.
Cheers.
Cheers. Holy Island is a lovely little spot to visit, Ashi, isn't it?
It's fantastic, and the view of Altor here is beautiful. And other boats too.
Well done. Very politically correct of you. After 2 almost meditative days and nights at Holy Island, we pulled up the anchor and headed north to avoid a forecasted gale. We found good shelter 12 miles further up the coast at Berwick-upon-Tweed. So 3.2 metres coming in here. We've got a big cross tide on there. Instructions say 15 metres from the wall, which is pretty uncomfortably close, I would say. Still 3 metres.
Berwick-upon-Tweed is England's northernmost town, and its entrance requires some care and consideration.
Right, and we're abeam of this port hand marker. We should be able to line up those transits, right?
Yeah.
Well, it all feels tight to me around this port hand marker. We've got the transit marks in line, pretty much. So we're doing okay, but there's a buoy down here that I think is green, but it looks a bit black, so it confused me for a minute. We have to be careful because these markers sit on the drying sandbank at low water, so we're keeping sort of 15-20 metres away from them as instructed, looking for the entrance which should be beyond the lifeboat station and that big wall there. Better let this laser go in front of us. Don't want to get in the way of a racer. I know what that's like. You've got a cruiser parked on the start line.
Once we found the hole in the wall, we headed in to Tweed Dock, where we found the yacht pontoon. Space was a little tight, but kindly the other yachts moved forward, allowing us to squeeze on the end, and as soon as we were tied up, we headed into town for a look around. Interestingly, Berwick-upon-Tweed was at the forefront of a technology that we discussed in a previous episode.
Here we have in Berwick the earliest model of the Stepford Pole. This one was a little bit rough around the edges and quite sharp when you were trying to get intimate, so you know, they've actually come quite a long way since there. I mean, this one's much better, much softer. It's all okay. All good. And just like that, we leave the town and go back to nature.
A short walk back downhill brings you to the River Tweed and the magnificent Royal Border Bridge, and as I wandered around under the arches, I found something to warm my heart.
Us humans are strange creatures, you know. We come down here to the shoreline and see this outfall, and when we look inside, someone has filled it with painted stones. It's a nice touch. Makes me feel like the simple things in life still mean something. I'm really enjoying this lovely little oasis of calm and beauty that we found here.
Stairs lead upstairs and downstairs.
She's right, there's no flies on this one.
Told you.
Oh yes, top level bridge views.
I feel like I have become aware of what I see as a peculiar human trait. Whenever you speak to anyone who is house-proud or loves where they live, they will have a million reasons why theirs is the best place to live. And yet, when you travel around the way we do, you soon discover that the country is full of best places. And anyway, what is a place? Well, actually, the place is Earth. And we are so lucky because there is almost unlimited beauty in this, our place.
Tweed dog behind.
Ready to go again. Bound for Peterhead. I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, so am I actually. I like Peterhead.
The sail from Berwick to Peterhead would take us about 22 hours, with a firm kick from Mother Nature along the way.
It is feisty.
Well, how things change. We're having all or nothing at the moment, and I do remember saying to you when we were motoring, well, it's better than having 30 knots or so. And now we have got 30 knots or so. Got a pretty heavily reefed jib. You might be able to see the second dots there on the luff. So we're about 5 miles away from Peterhead. A little bit nervous because this has really gone easterly and we are up to 30 knots. Currently blowing 26 or so. Yeah, as you get into the shore you start to get the confused seas because the swells are rebounding off the rocks and the harbour wall. I don't mind
We are just about to go through the gap in the breakwater into Peterhead Harbour. The sea is rough, so despite the gap is fairly wide, it feels like there's not enough space.
Are you smiling as much as I am under that VR2? Bloody hell. As you can see, it's a big gap, but my goodness, that's not a pleasant experience approaching that in a stiff easterly. No, thank you. Right, let's get those fenders out, shall we?
Yep.
Go, go, go. Well done.
We liked Peterhead before, and we liked it even more this time after coming in and sheltering behind its massive walls from a lumpy sea. In normal Peterhead fashion for us, we tied Altor securely to the dock, relaxed, took our brains out, and enjoyed being back in bonny Scotland once again.
Well, we all know that time flies when you're having fun, and we've been here for nearly a week. And we do have fun in Peterhead. It's a great place to park your boat up in the safe, well-run marina. The people are friendly, and we've met some really nice guys who keep their boats here in the marina. It seems to us that a lot of people treat Peterhead as just a stop-off, but we like it more than that. Never forget that Scotland is Scotland's best kept secret. So don't ever believe a soft southern shandy who tells you it's grim up north, because it really isn't. It's awesome, and we love it. The forecast is now showing some favourable winds to go north, and we're going to take them. So it's that time again to say goodbye to Peterhead and make some progress north.
A life so full of hellos must also come with goodbyes. With the sea looking so much more inviting than the one that kicked our backsides in here, we left to the harbour walls in bright sunshine. After a slowish start to our season, we feel that we have built a good head of steam and made it to Scotland fairly swiftly. So thank you very much indeed for joining us all the way to Peterhead, and please come back and join us next time as we push once again further north. Altor out.
You want me to probe it, but I don't think my foot will reach.
Sometimes you can start to take things very personally when you come down to look at a bridge and you've got someone with a Paddy's motorbike over your shoulder. You've got this beautiful bridge here with a blooming cement mixer making it noisy. Don't you know I'm trying to make a video? And you can keep it quiet too.
What? I am keeping it quiet. You shut it. At last, we made it. We made it. Iceland.
All a bit by accident there. There was something wrong with our navigation after all.
Clearly.